Welcome to VERITAS Half Hour. VERITAS Half Hour is a weekly television program where we talk about academic excellence and quality formation at VERITAS University Abuja. My name is Cyril Ole. In this week's edition, we are taking a look at a seminar organized by the Economics Department of VERITAS University Abuja for its postgraduate students. The seminar is aimed at teaching these students how to write quality and effective theses and dissertations. At this seminar this week, the Vice Chancellor of VERITAS University Abuja, Professor Hyacinth Ementa Ichoku, himself a first-class economics professor, was on hand to talk to these students.
So what I'll be saying is what I've learned over the years of teaching and publishing. The methodology we're going to discuss this morning will just be my experience, writing and publishing over the years, supervising students and attending external examinations. You will be surprised that I still have up to 12 PhD students I'm supervising now in UNN. I still supervise up to 12 PhD students, very active PhD class. And then I'm also still attending external examinations to various universities, University of Lagos, University of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, and even Cape Town, University of Cape Town, even some other universities. Sometimes you are completely excited about what you're doing. Sometimes you are completely demoralized. When you publish, one of your saddest days is when your paper comes back rejected. You understand what I mean? That you send your paper to a journal and the papers have been reviewed and the reviewers have a verdict for you and that your paper is rejected. Have you had another experience? They are keeping quiet. One of the sad days you will have in your life is the day your papers will come back from the job. You've sent your journal to maybe Economic Journal of so and so, and the reviewers have done their reviews, and your papers come back, and they say, "Oh, sorry, we are sorry that this paper cannot be published under this condition." I mean, that can be demoralizing, but also that also helps you to see that there are. It's not because we're going to talk about publication. But today we're just talking about thesis writing. But it's all the same principles. It's all the same principles. Whether you're writing a thesis or dissertation, or whether you're writing a proposal, a competitive proposal, or whether you're writing a journal paper, it's all the same principles. Though the demands of each will be a little bit different. So today we're going to just look at the thesis writing, and I'm not going to be doing a lot of note taking, copying of, writing on the board, but we just tell you our experience over the years, doing thesis or supervising thesis. Now, first of all, let's see one of the challenges you face first when you are doing your dissertation, for those who are doing masters, and you are doing your thesis for those who are doing PhD, and the PhD students here. Yes. Okay, so the first thing you face is choice of topic. I'm not sure how many of you have faced the challenge of choosing a topic for your dissertation or your thesis. Okay? So the first challenge is, how do I choose my topic for the thesis or the dissertation you want to write? And first, so that's where to begin. I think that's where to begin. What you really What do you have? What topic? Because sometimes you find students who bring thesis, dissertation topic or thesis topic to you, and they are just you just see that these guys don't really understand what it means to write a thesis, or that the kind of doable topic, what we call a doable topic for a dissertation or a thesis. So that is where to begin first. And people may not really appreciate what you're doing. So you're going to be running into some study times, some crisis in the course of your project. Okay? So that is one thing. I recall when I was doing my master thesis in Cape Town, and I chose a topic that sounded like, at that time it was really like, Nobel. But now I don't think people will look at it as Nobel again. I think it was something on nested logic model. Then nested logic was common, okay? But the part of nested logic was more or less difficult to conceive at that time. That was about 2000. So I had to read and read and read. Even my supervisor did not understand the topic. And let me tell you, it was such a difficult topic then, because what it means, okay, let me just give you an idea what nesting means. You see, the probability of something, something here, the probability of something here, that the probability, you are dealing with the probability that this may be this or that. That is one branch. Then you come here, under this branch, probability of this or this or this. Then even probability of this, you still have probability of this or that. And then you have determinants. You have determinants. So you are going to do a regression analysis to the PhD works I've examined in the University of Cape Town. Completely different from what I see in Nigeria. Completely different. Even their master's thesis. I can send you models and you see the difference. You see the difference. You understand what I mean? Because, sometimes I don't think we get it right sometimes. But anyway, the point is that conceptual literature is a relationship. How are these key variables related? Maybe when we have time, we can talk about it in more details. But then the theoretical literature is again, or sometimes we call it theoretical framework, isn't it? Because consistently over time, they have congealed into a body of knowledge and they accepted. So that has become hypotheses and theories. But what we are now talking about is empirical demonstrations of these empirical findings. What you find in journals, this is what we mean by empirical literature. You find that from your study of the literature or empirical literature, there are certain tendencies, certain commonalities and differences, okay, between your literature. In your literature, you can then thematize either sometimes historically the development of the topic or the research over time. Okay, just like we are doing today with the issue of the empirical literature of consumption, measurement of consumption, isn't it? I hope you are familiar with theories of consumption and empirical evidence, isn't it? And you can see that in the case of consumption, there has been development over time in terms of what are the findings of people. Okay? Now, you can either thematize according to historical epoch and development of the literature, okay, and findings, or you can thematize according to geography, maybe geopolitical zones, maybe Asian literature, European literature, African literature, and so on, okay? You can also, thematize by methods people have used to do the estimation. these have used bar, these have used coincident analysis, these have used several other. So you can create a basket. What it means, you can, so you can find one basket, maybe if you are, for example, analyzing by historical development. You can create one basket from this period to this period, the second basket from this period to this period, the third basket from this period, or you can do by geographical, this zone, this zone, this zone, or you can do by methods. Okay, you can also establish other criteria to categorize the literature. So whatever criteria or categories you have established, you now find which of these groups of literature, very certain structure. I don't think is right, because it all varies according to the thesis you are doing. The structure of your thesis can vary according to the topic you are doing. Why my thesis took several chapters was because, as I said before, I had 9 objectives. And let me tell you, the more objectives you have, the better. Why? Because each of those objectives will turn out to be a journal paper. Are you following? Each of those objectives can turn out for you to be, because if you pack everything together, and also in some places, when you, let me give you a typical structure in some places. What they do.
There were also opportunities for the students to ask questions and elicit answers from the Vice Chancellor himself, who took time to explain that thesis writing and dissertation writing is not a fun.
Now, if most people don't write that thesis in that thesis, they prefer to summarize and write something short that supervisors will read. When they have a supervisor who will not want to read 200 pages to submit, they keep on asking to come again, until you begin to see the music they want you to see that.
Yeah, that could be. People are saddled with a lot of theses to supervise, so they want it an easy way. That's possible. Like me supervising 12 theses. It's not easy for me because you have to have sleepless nights, and before you can do it. That's a problem. Ordinarily, you shouldn't be supervising more than 3-4 PhDs. Well, it's a heavy task. But when you do, you have 10, 20 to survive, then you're going to be compromising on standards. Isn't it? So I can understand if people feel like that.
Prof, thank you. I want to appreciate you for, what is the seminar aimed at achieving?
Well, it's just to expose our students to different methods of analysis, different methods of writing their thesis or projects or their master's dissertation, just to bring them up to the current systems that are prevailing in thesis writing and research reporting and journal publications and all that. So we think that it's important for them to always be current, because they are in academics, and if they have to do a good thesis, if they have to do standard dissertation, they must have to follow some conventional and new developing methods. So I think that is just the reason we want them to be together and be on the same page. It's an ongoing exercise that we expect, to be having from time to time. I think next week or in 2 weeks' time, we'll be having another for all the academic staff of the university. Okay. The idea is that methods are very, very critical for students to, in their future, not just for their present, for their future, not just for passing exam, for their future, because most of the things they will be doing, writing papers, writing proposals, will involve some mastery of methodology.
Prof, I was going to ask you, this is for postgraduate students.
Yes.
Are you thinking of introducing this at the lower level, at undergraduate level?
Yes, of course.
So that it's easier to transform.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. We are even talking about research ethics at undergraduate level, so that sometimes we find undergraduate students copying things, and pasting, and they don't know that these are not allowed. So we need to, both at graduate and undergraduate level, we need to teach them ethics of research. They need to understand methods of research in their various fields, and how to analyze data in their various fields. Methods is critical for any academic endeavor. Very, very important.
It's intriguing to see how you combine your tight schedule as the Vice Chancellor of VERITAS University Abuja to also come to teach economic students and supervising PhD students that I have just learned.
Yes. I mean, Vice Chancellor thing is an administrative thing, but once you're an academic, you have to remain an academic. I still go for external examination to universities. I still do attend conferences. I still go for seminars. So because these are things that keep you up as an academic. I'll finish the tenure as Vice Chancellor, and life goes on. I mean, it's a temporary appointment.
Yeah. Thank you, Professor.
Thank you very much.
Professor
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you very much.
We spoke with the head of Department of Economics Department, Dr. Ihoma, who also explained the essence of the seminar.
The seminar for today is quite interesting and relevant.
Okay.
Because we want to imbibe in our students, MSc students, PhD students, the art of writing theses, projects, and dissertations. Okay. Yes, because it's very, very important. Many of them do not seem to have that art. Yes, we also want to perfect what the lecturers themselves already know, because there's no end to knowledge. I'm sure many of us learned new things from the Vice Chancellor's presentation today.
So the seminar was for both those teachers who teach masters and PhD students,
yes,
as well as the students themselves.
Yes.
Okay. You just said something now, that it appears that most PhD students are having problems on how to write theses.
Yes.
Are you thinking of introducing this type of seminar at the undergraduate level?
Yes, because it will go down to undergraduate level, so that you see the image of the whole university is involved.
Right.
Yes, so that when you leave this university with a work you did, people will have a measure of respect. They say, yeah, we know that place. The Cambridge, all these big universities we are talking about today, that's how they started. Okay. Yeah. And this is a young university, and it's not too late for us to imbibe such a
Is it going to be a regular program for PG students?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Like the Vice Chancellor told us now, the next time we meet now, we'll talk on data.
Okay.
How do we generate our data? How do we use our data? How do we analyze our data? Yes.
I suspect your department has an advantage on this, because the Vice Chancellor himself, Professor Choku, is an economist. So you're taking advantage of that fact.
Yeah, you take advantage of what you have. Yeah, to perfect yourself. Oh yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Ihoma.
Thank you.
We caught up also with the postgraduate coordinator at Economics Department, Dr. A.C. Obonna, who explained that there is need for training and retraining of both the students and the lecturers to understand the essence of quality thesis and dissertation writing.
The seminar is an aspect of trying to enhance the intellectual capacity of the students and the lecturers in the department. Okay. Because sometimes too, when you stand for to organize certain academic seminars or conferences, you see that most of the postgraduate students do not really get to understand the basic ethics of research. Okay. So the essence of this is to enhance our capacity, both the lecturers and the students.
Okay, and I see that this is for postgraduates.
Yes.
Have you had one for undergraduates?
Yeah, we've been having
department?
undergraduate seminars, but the point is that in recent time we've not really had that of undergraduates, because the university at the moment have directed that undergraduate students to stay at home and learn online. So we have decided that their own seminar is going to come up at the end of the exam. economics.
Okay, and is this going to be regular or just a one-off thing?
Yeah, it's a regular thing. It's an ongoing concern. It's been organized periodically.
Okay.
Because, like I said, it's part of enhancing the intellectual capacity. So it's all about the way of trying to refresh ourselves. It's a refresher program. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
We try to enhance our capacities. People need to know the modern trends in research.
Okay.
So that is the essence and the more reason why it has to be periodically organized.
Okay, and how many? Just give us a figure.
Yes.
How many PhD students do you have in economics department?
In the economics department, as in this present admission exercise, we have admitted 18 students,
Okay.
18 PhD students.
18 PhD
And the last admission we had for last year, we had 3 students. In a total of 21 students at the moment in the department.
For PhD.
For PhD.
Thank you for the good work you're doing.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. We spoke with some of the participants at the seminar. First was Mrs. Ngozi Agbegulam, who works at Central Bank of Nigeria, but who is also a PhD student at Economics Department of VERITAS University Abuja.
Oh, the seminar was very rich, quite educative. In fact, it has put us on the right track for our thesis and dissertations for both the PhD and the master's degree students in economics.
Okay. Is this relevant to what you are doing?
Oh, sure, it's relevant. Not just to the dissertation and the thesis, but also even to the various projects and papers that we will write. It has given us, put us on the right footing on how to go about our research and also the resources that are available. And not only that, his reference to African Economic Research Consortium was very key because that is where we're going to have a sort of peer review of our work and as well as get funding and get others, international bodies, those in other countries, to also look into our work and, critique it and give us opportunity to even know how best to go about our projects, our theses, our dissertations.
Yeah, we had the Vice Chancellor say another seminar will be organized to talk about data collection and data analysis and all that. One would think that this should be a regular program to help the students. What do you think?
Yes. In fact, we are highly privileged to have the VC that is in our own field, which is economics. So it's a rare privilege. We will like this to be quite often.
Okay.
And the one he's talking about, data, is very key. Because as he rightly pointed out during the exercise, he mentioned that a lot of people go into time series, which is true. But meanwhile, a lot is required of survey data. And very few people are going into that. But for practicality, and for what we are being taught to apply it in the real world, survey data is mostly required. So having another session on data will really help us. It will really assist us in our thesis, in our dissertations.
Thank you, Mrs. Ngozi Agbegulam. Is a PhD student at Economics Department. She's also a staff of Central Bank of Nigeria. I am also told, even though you haven't confirmed that you are also the course rep. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
Reverend Father Pascal Eze, a Catholic priest, is pursuing his master's degree in economics at VERITAS University Abuja. He also attended the seminar and we caught up with him.
Today's seminar for me is very impressive. In fact, I learned a lot from it. In fact, it's also challenging because it opened my eyes to a lot of things that I didn't know before, and possibly with the current ones that we are expecting in future, we hope will benefit enough from them.
And do you think that this should be regularly organized, or are you satisfied just with the one-off thing?
No, I'm not satisfied with just this one. I believe if it is organized regularly, it will add to what we are doing. At least the exposition is worthwhile. And from even what the VC has already said, he said that another time will be for data exposition. And as social scientists, you deal much with data. And if you don't have knowledge and background about this data, it then means you are almost off the track.
It's becoming interesting to see Reverend Fathers in different fields of study. The Vice Chancellor himself, a Reverend Father, economics. Father Pascal is economics. Is this something you missed at the seminary level, or is this an innovation?
I would say it's an innovation because we discovered that the church, because of the failed nature of our state, the church is now exposing its priests to different fields of life to see how they can as well be in that field and help out in order to reinvigorate such fields. I think that's why in so many areas, priests are now studying nursing, doing medicine, doing economics, and all fields of study, even law. So we are all over.
We look forward to see you even when you finish this, maybe at the PhD level, right?
Definitely.
It looks like something doable.
Definitely.
Thank you for talking with us, Reverend Father Pascal Eze, a master's degree student at Economics Department of VERITAS University Abuja. We have come to the end of another exciting week of VERITAS Half Hour, which looked at the seminar organized for the postgraduate students at Economics Department of VERITAS University Abuja, where the Vice Chancellor, Professor Hyacinth Tementi Choku, was the guest speaker. It's been a nice week. We thank you for investing your time with us. My name is Cyril Ole. Stay with us for next week's edition.